November 17th, 2023. San Francisco. In a quiet boardroom on the 7th floor of a modern building, one of the most powerful figures in the world of technology was suddenly removed from his position. No prior warning reached the public. No dramatic press conference. Just a short statement on the company blog that read, "Sam Altman is out." What followed in the next few days was far more than a simple leadership change. It was an intense internal conflict, a battle between different visions for the future of artificial intelligence. A battle between those who wanted to move forward with extreme caution to protect humanity and those who believed in pushing the boundaries as fast as possible. This is the real and often unsettling story of OpenAI. Let's go back to the beginning. December 2015, a small group of some of the brightest minds in technology and artificial intelligence gathered quietly in a modest apartment in San Francisco. Among them were Elon Musk, Sam Altman, Ilya Sutskever, and Greg Brockman. They did not come together to build another profitable company. They came together because they were deeply concerned. They had studied the rapid progress in artificial intelligence, and they saw a future that could be both incredibly promising and extremely challenging. They understood that if humanity succeeded in creating artificial general intelligence, a system that could outperform humans in almost every intellectual task, it would become the most powerful technology we have ever developed. So they decided to create OpenAI, an organization that started as a nonprofit with a clear mission written at its core, to develop artificial general intelligence that would benefit all of humanity, not just a select few. There would be no traditional shareholders pressuring for maximum profits. The goal was responsible research guided by long-term thinking for the good of everyone. For the first few years, this idealistic vision held strong. The team worked with passion, determined to ensure that this powerful new technology would be developed in a way that serves humanity's best interests. But as the technology began to show its true potential, everything started to change. Creating something this advanced requires enormous resources, massive amounts of computing power, talent, and funding. In 2019, OpenAI made a major decision. They signed a partnership with Microsoft, receiving an initial investment of $1 billion. What began as a collaboration for cloud computing soon evolved into something much deeper. The original nonprofit structure was joined by a for-profit arm. At first, they said there would be strict limits on how much profit could be made. But over time, those limits began to loosen and eventually disappeared. By 2025, the structure had changed significantly. OpenAI transformed into a public benefit corporation. The lines between the original mission and commercial success became increasingly blurred. Sam Altman found himself navigating both the research side and the rapidly growing business interests. The mission that once focused purely on benefiting all of humanity quietly began shifting towards serving those who now held significant stakes in the company. Behind the scenes, tensions were growing. Ilya Sutskever, one of the co-founders and the company's chief scientist who had played a central role in developing the technology behind ChatGPT, started to become increasingly worried about the direction things were heading. There were reports of an internal project called Coup that raised serious concerns among some researchers about how powerful and potentially unpredictable the systems were becoming. On November 17th, 2023, the board of directors took a dramatic step. They decided to remove Sam Altman as CEO, citing that he had not been consistently candid in his communications with the board. The decision sent shockwaves through the entire technology world. What happened next was almost unprecedented. More than 738 out of roughly 770 employees signed an open letter demanding that Sam Altman be brought back, threatening to leave the company and join Microsoft if their demand was not met. After 5 days of intense negotiations and chaos, Sam Altman returned to OpenAI, but the company he returned to was not the same. The original board members who had made the decision were largely replaced. A new board was formed, one that appeared far more aligned with the current leadership. Ilya Sutskever, who had been part of the original decision, would later step away from the company he helped found, carrying with him deep concerns about its future direction. Then came 2024, a year that would see even more significant departures. In May 2024, both Ilya Sutskever and Jan Like, the two leading figures responsible for the superalignment team, the group tasked with ensuring that future superintelligent AI systems remain safe and under human control, announced their departures. Jan Like was particularly direct in his public statement. He wrote that over the past years, safety culture and processes had taken a back seat to the development of impressive new products. He expressed concern that the company was not allocating enough resources or priority to the critical work of making sure advanced AI systems could be properly guided and controlled. The entire superalignment team was eventually restructured and largely dissolved. It is estimated that nearly half of the researchers focused on AI safety left OpenAI during 2024 and early 2025. These are not people leaving for higher salaries elsewhere. Many of them left because they felt the company was no longer giving sufficient priority to the most important question of all. How do we ensure that this technology remains beneficial and safe as it becomes more powerful than any tool humanity has ever created? Today, in February 2026, OpenAI has grown into one of the most valuable private companies in the world. The company is reportedly finalizing a massive funding round that could push its valuation well beyond $850 billion. They are investing heavily in Project Stargate, one of the most ambitious artificial intelligence infrastructure projects ever attempted, involving hundreds of billions of dollars in computing power and data centers. They have formed partnerships that would have seemed unthinkable just a few years ago, including deep collaborations with major technology giants and even interest from governments. The organization that began with a promise to develop artificial intelligence carefully for the benefit of all humanity is now moving at an extraordinary speed, driven by both competition and enormous commercial pressure. The central question we face today is no longer simply whether we will succeed in creating artificial general intelligence. The more urgent question has become, who will truly guide and direct this immensely powerful technology? And more importantly, will it ultimately serve the long-term interests of all humanity, or will it be shaped primarily by those who control the largest resources and the fastest timelines? But perhaps the most important truth of all is this: OpenAI did not create this situation by itself. We all played a part. Every time we used their tools, every time we marveled at the capabilities without asking the deeper questions, we helped accelerate this journey. The future of artificial intelligence will not be decided only in the boardrooms of San Francisco or the laboratories of Silicon Valley. It will be shaped by the awareness, the demands, and the choices made by people around the world. We must demand greater transparency. We must support independent research into AI safety and alignment. We must remain curious, informed, and vigilant about where this technology is heading. Because in the end, the real challenge we face is not just about one company or one group of executives. It is about whether humanity will rise to the responsibility of guiding one of the most powerful creations in our history, or whether we will allow it to be shaped by short-term interests and unchecked competition. If you want to dive deeper into the hidden stories and the real forces shaping our technological future, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. This is just the beginning of the Tech Noir Chronicles. And always remember, in this new age of artificial intelligence, one of the most important things we can do is to never stop asking the difficult questions.